right?
That's right.
You brothers that are faithful to this, you part of that work. All right, go on.
In the midst of the years make known.
In the midst of the years, right now. Go on.
In wrath remember mercy.
Now, me and this brother was talking, the Most High is going to do so much wrath and so much destruction, it's going to seem like he's going to kill everybody.
Right.
So, you know, the prophet said, Lord, in your wrath, remember mercy.
That's right.
Meaning, don't destroy us.
Right. Don't jack us
All right?
up.
Don't jack us up. All right? That's why the scriptures say, working your
Salvation.
In what?
Fear and trembling.
With fear and trembling. Because the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, is mad right now.
That's right.
Extremely upset. All right, go on.
The Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran.
That's
Selah.
talking about the chariots, like we mentioned, going to come from outer space. Now, the first line of defense for this so-called New World Order is outer space. That's why they have the weapons out there.
Yep.
But Yahweh Shai, he's going to break through that defense. And then he's going to come onto the earth. Then he's going to come from Israel and come over to America. All right, go on.
Yeah, it said his glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
His glory is talking about the chariots. That's why in Revelation 1 and 7 it says, every eye shall see him. That's talking about the chariots. Go on.
And his brightness was as the light.
Again, chariots, go on.
He had horns coming out of his hand.
The horns is talking about those laser beams.
Yep.
That's going to come out the chariots and destroy the buildings, burn up the roads, burn up the land. Is it not written, Yahweh Shai said, I am come with fire?
Yep. What will life be already?
And what
kindled?
will life be already kindled? Go on.
And there was the hiding of his power.
Go on.
Before him went the pestilence, and the burning coals went forth at his feet.
That's your lake of fire. That's America. Plus the missiles are going to be doing that thing.
Yep.
All right, go on.
He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting.
Right. Isn't that part where it says bright beams?
Yeah, that we
You
read
can bring that out.
Yeah, it says he had horns coming out of his hand. There's a precept 5. It says, or bright beams out of his side.
So what do you think that's talking about? That's the laser beams.
That's right.
And that's the same laser beam that wrote the laws on tables of stone for Moses. You can find that in Deuteronomy, the 33rd chapter.
Yeah, and they show you that in the movie War of the Worlds, when them tripods came out and they started shooting the laser beams and turning people to dust and powder.
That's right. That's right. Now the final scripture is 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, 1 to 11.
2nd Esdras 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof.
Now this is a vision, Esdras. See, the prophets, they saw the chariots.
Yep.
And they saw what the chariots are going to do. And they left us a record that we should learn in the latter years. As it is written, Romans, for whatsoever things are written aforetime were written for our learning. Right? Go on.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Yeah, that's Yahweh Shai, along with Michael. That man in particular is talking about Yahweh Shai. Go on.
And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen unto him. And whatsoever the voice went out of his, and whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. Like,
that's plain. Go on.
Like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
Go on.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Now, isn't that what Reagan said?
Yep.
Didn't Reagan say, I read it right here, it says, how easy his task and mine might be in these meetings that we held if suddenly there was a threat to this world from some other species, from another planet outside in the universe, we'd forget all the little local differences that we have between our countries and come together and try to fight against this monumental power that's coming from outer space. That's what he read. That's what he just read there. Read it again.
And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number.
Yeah, the so-called American army, the so-called Russian army, all the armies of the world that's going to be fighting against each other, they're all going to put down their differences and all come against Yahweh Shai. That's exactly what this guy Reagan said. And that's exactly what you're reading here. See how it all links up, all comes together? Go on.
From the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
To try to subdue the man.
Yep.
But it ain't gonna happen. Go on.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain.
That's a huge chariot,
Yep.
a majestic chariot that Yahushua is gonna be in. Go on.
And flew up upon it.
Go on.
But I would have seen the region or place whereof the hill was graven, and I could not.
Yeah, because it wasn't an actual mountain. It was a chariot. It just looked like a giant mountain. Go on.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid,
Where they were so afraid. Go on.
and yet durst fight.
But they still, because the Most High is going to put the spirit on them to fight.
Yep.
Go on.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand.
Yeah, they're going to come with their tanks, and they're going to come with their fighter jets,
Yep.
and shooting them, just like you mentioned about the tether.
Yep. Up in space. Yeah,
Up
when
in
they
space,
shot the laser.
they shot the laser at the chariot,
Yep.
and the chariot just brushed it off.
Yeah, because they think that Star Wars program, them lasers up there, they think that that's going to stop the Lord.
Yeah.
So they're going to be fighting on the earth, and then the Lord going to go right past them pieces of shit up in the, in the heavens, melt them as he's going by,
Yep.
destroy all that Star Wars bullshit that it took them all these years to build, and then come down here, then they're going to, oh shit, you know, they're going to be trying to, you know, they're going to start trying to fight against the Lord, trying to do them stupid maneuvers and them stealth jets,
which the maneuvers the chariots could do defies gravity, defies reality.
Yep.
All right, the chariots can shrink, then they can grow the size of a city, then they can shrink to whatever.
That's right.
You can't fight that force. All right?
They could disappear.
They can disappear, reappear. They can travel 3,000 miles an hour like that, come to a complete stop, defy gravity, defy angles.
Yep.
Your raggedy fighter jets try to do that, they'll break up in pieces.
That's right.
All right? But you're going to learn.
That's right.
You're going to learn, because the Most High is going to make an example of you, wicked elites.
Yep.
All right, go on.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand.
That's why Yahushua wasn't bothered.
Yep.
That's what he's been waiting for. We're talking about a man of the Lord here. I'm sorry, a man of war here.
That's right.
It is written, the Lord is a man of war. That's what he's been waiting for, that moment. Go on.
No held sword, nor any instrument of war.
Right.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
You know what that's talking about? The laser beams.
Yep.
That's going to come out, like you mentioned, what is that? War of the Worlds, the new one. And even in the old one, they showed the laser beams coming out.
Yep.
Go on.
And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Right.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
That's a hell of a vision the Lord gave Esdras, man.
Yep.
So that's why Reagan, his main concern was this UFOs and the alien threat. Now you know what that's really talking about. All right? And like I said, Reagan is dead, but the issue didn't die with him.
Right.
The elites that are up there, they're still considering that. All right? So the Most High gave us the spirit, Yahweh Shem Yahushai gave us the spirit to bring out this lesson to you brothers.
Yep.
All right, so with that, this is GMS Info Doc, and we'll see you on the next go-round with another lesson. Shalom.